Hi, hey Russ here. Oh, there's a boat going by and foghorn. Anyway, welcome back to the shop. I want to talk to you about a new joint I've been kind of working on. It's a pocket hole joint. I'm determined to build my miter station out of nothing but OSB, pretty much. And everybody tells me, oh, it's not strong enough and this and that. But also I'm taking it a step further. Everything's going to be just anchored to the wall. Nothing's going to touch the floor. So everything, the wall attachment is what's going to give that cabinet and hold it to the wall. With OSB, I know, some of you think I'm a little bit off, but actually I'm just outside the box. So in order for this to work properly, I already use a technique that's called toe nailing pocket hole joints, where if you've seen one of my earlier videos, I put two on opposite sides offset. And they go in, and that gives me that angle, which is kind of like toenailing. So, but when I put up a board and I tried to see how much weight I can put on it, I just put one board vertically on it and I attached it all up and down. It really still wasn't quite strong enough. It would pull away from at the top. So that got me to thinking that really that's where the joint needs to be strongest. So I decided we can give ourselves a little bit of edge, and actually it did work. I now was able to put in excess of 200 pounds on that, and it held that board on there. So what is that joint? That's what the pocket hole super joint is. So basically, let's talk about the pocket hole joinery in general real quick, do a review so you can understand the important aspects of it, why it works and why it doesn't, and then you'll understand why the super joint works. So let's start with putting the screw in. You got your standard height of a pocket hole. And that standard height is 3/4 of an inch away. The shoulder is about 3/4 of an inch away from the contact surface that the wood you're joining to. So the screw is right here, and you have 3/4 of an inch shoulder for that screw to get support. That is the most fragile place on doing the pocket hole joint, is this area here. If you tighten that down too much, and this starts bulging, you've actually over-tightened that screw. It doesn't need that much torque. Just enough to pull this good and flat, and it'll hold it there. When you start over-torquing, it starts crushing the wood, and then it's not as strong. So never over-tighten it. On the super joint, you really don't need any more screw tighten pressure than you do on one of these. So always make sure you're not over-tightening a pocket hole, no matter what kind of joint you're doing. To make this thing stronger, on a K4 and a K5, it's pretty easy to do. Normally, you take, and whether it's in your freestanding one or it's in your jig, your K4 jig that goes on your bench top, this thing can be adjusted up and down in there for it to do the angles of the pocket holes. And that adjustment brings it further and further away and raises where the pocket hole is starting into the wood. Now, I have found that I can adjust that height, and it affects it in such a way that I actually can get a stronger joint. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So when this is set at 3/4, then the distance on that to the bottom is 3/4 of an inch from the shoulder. So if I raise this up, leave my collar at the same place where it would be for a 3/4 inch piece of plywood. When I raise that up, then when I screw it, the flat of the hole inside where the shoulder of the screw lands is still just barely below the tip of that hole. It's right there. So I raised that shoulder up here. So there's this much more wood in between these two joints. It went from 3/4 of an inch to an inch of in between. Here is 1 1/8. Here it's at 1 1/4 inches, and here is at the maximum increment of 1.5 inches. That's a lot of wood in between there. And if you do that, that does two things. First, you have to use a longer screw, obviously, because you have more space here. But you also need to be aware of where it comes out. It will change where it comes out of the wood here. On the 3/4, it comes out dead center on a piece of 3/4 inch plywood. And the pocket hole joinery, as it normally people talk about, including the manufacturer, always want that screw to come out in the dead center. Why that is, I don't know. So that when they tell you to change the height of this, you're supposed to change the height of your collar. By leaving the collar the same, it's still going to drill in to just below where that hole is each time. So I'm actually increasing the amount of wood that I'm putting between the head of the screw and where it pulls it to the other piece. That's where it pick up a little bit of strength on that screw, believe it or not, a noticeable difference. So I went to a 1 1/8 inch distance here, setting this to 1 1/8, had my collar set for the 3/4 like I always do, and I drilled these, and I made what I call the super joint. Because I raised it up around 3/8 of an inch or so, I used a longer screw, so instead of an 1 1/4 inch screw, I would use a 2-inch screw, or 1.5 inches if I didn't want it to come through the other side. And that gives me a little more thread. It gives me about the same amount of threads as with a normal screwing. But if you go all the way through, then the tip of that isn't used in carrying the load on 3/4 inch. So actually it's even stronger when it protrudes out the back side. So if the screw goes all the way through, it just makes it slightly stronger because the threads that it's using to hold that in the hole are deeper. So also, I do a 3-screw pocket hole. I put this at the very top. So if this was going against the wall, and this was the top of my cabinet, and it goes down 3 feet, I would use this joint right here at the very top. About 2 inches down is where I would start it, and I just separate them based on the spacing on here. One on the 2 widest ones, I drill those 2, and then I put the one on the other side, lining it up halfway between the 2. And that gives you this effect. They come out off-centered, but that doesn't mean anything. That actually probably makes it stronger because the toenail angle is actually a little further apart now than it is if they were all like this. I did this test using this technique, not even close to being able to carry 200 pounds. I did it with these 3 on that piece of wood, and it easily carried that 200 pounds without any problem. So this is definitely much stronger, and this is actually going to make it much better if I use this on the top of every piece that I put vertical on that wall. If I put this at the very top and then do regular pocket hole joinery the rest of the way down to help hold it from twisting or anything, this joint will help keep that from pulling away from the wall and make it much stronger. So if you're doing cabinets and you're attaching it to something that's hanging, keep in mind that there is a place to use this super joint. We use it all the time? No. But just like knowing how to do a mortise and tenon or a miter joint, a locking joint, whatever, a super pocket hole joint actually is a good thing to have in your arsenal, because there are times when that joint will be much stronger than anything else, especially if you're trying to attach to a vertical wall something to it. This really works. So give it a try. Tell me what you think. Oh, by the way, you know what that is? Huh? Anybody? Yeah? Yeah, you're right. This is drawer slides. This is actually 15 to 20 drawer slides. Yeah. I got my marbles. So we'll go over that in another time when I do a drawer, and I'll show you how they work. And I'll show you how making them that way is so cheap. Because that whole thing of marbles cost me, I think $17. And I'll be able to get at least 15 drawers, maybe 20 drawers out of it. So that ain't too bad for doing that many sets of drawer slides. So stick around. We got lots more that we're going to be doing. Anyway, if you have any comments or thoughts about this super joint, let me know. If you don't understand why would you ever need it, okay, I understand that. But actually, I find that on this wall, this is going to be very handy to be able to use. And there's going to be other places where that joint will work. So just put it back in your arsenal of joinery, and it just makes that joint, gives you that edge when you need it. If you like this video or you learned something here, hit that like button. Most importantly, please come back again, because I'm nowhere near done. Especially if you want to learn about those marble drawers. You're definitely going to want to come back for that. Thanks. We'll see you again soon.